Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest questions on the minds of home buyers in the Ottawa area right now. Is this a good time to buy? If you've been watching the market, you've probably seen all kinds of headlines all over the place. Some are saying the market is crashing, others are saying that you should wait until interest rates drop more. But here's the truth: if you're serious about buying, this is the window you've been waiting for. Stick around because I'll walk you through exactly why now might be one of the best times in years to buy a home in Ottawa. Let's get right into it. First thing is, let's talk about the market reality. The average time on market has shifted noticeably in Ottawa recently. Detached single homes, family homes now spend a median of 16 days on the market in Q2 of 2025, up from 15 days in Q2 of 2024. Townhomes, row units, they have a median of 18 days, also up from 15 days a year ago. Apartment, condo units see a larger jump. We are looking at now 30 days on the market compared to 23 days last year. A separate report for July 2025 shows that detached homes are still about 21 days on market, unchanged year over year. Townhouses are at about 24.5 days, about 5.5 days more. And condos are now averaging 37 days on market, up 10 days from last year. So, right now, the buyers don't feel any pressure to act instantly. With listing times stretching into weeks rather than days, buyers no longer feel pressure to pounce that same night as soon as they see the property. They often now have several days or even weeks to think it over, especially on condos and townhouses. Detached homes still sell more quickly, around 16 to 21 days. These figures indicate a noticeable slowing, particularly in the condo segment, where buyers now have ample time to tour, consider, or back out without fear of the bidding rush. In Ottawa, typical homes today sit on the market for 2 to 3 weeks, and condos often nearly a month before selling. For buyers, that means you don't have to write an offer the night it's listed, the first time you see it. You can take your time, discuss it, weigh the pros and cons, revisit, and then decide if this is the right home for you. But sellers have to be aware, especially in the condo market. Homes are taking longer to move unless they're priced and presented sharply. Number two is we are starting to see sellers that are negotiating a little bit more. In Ottawa, today, roughly 58% of homes sell in a balanced market, meaning that sellers often need to negotiate to close deals. While detached homes remain relatively competitive, buyers have real leverage, especially in the condo and townhouse segment. Inspection, financing conditions, a lot of times we are seeing these conditions showing up on the offer, and the sellers are now agreeing to attract offers where a few years ago they typically expected a clean, unconditional offer with no conditions whatsoever. We're also seeing some price reductions and sellers' concessions. And this is what's happening in the real world. A few months ago, I had a great young couple. They were looking at homes, finally found the house they wanted. It matched exactly what they were looking for. And they were able to knock off $14,000 off of the asking price. I'm not saying this is going to happen all the time, but seller was motivated, the buyer was motivated. We happened to make it work, but they saved $14,000 on the asking price. So why does this matter for buyers and for sellers? For buyers, number one, with longer days on market, especially condos and townhomes, it's now acceptable and often expected to ask for a lower price and include your typical conditions such as inspection, finance, insurance, even coming in below the asking and sometimes winning the deal. As for sellers, while the detached homes still attract interest, many sellers are agreeing to negotiate a little bit more, either via a modest price drop or covering some costs to make sure the deal moves forward rather than stalling and just sitting there. We are seeing open houses and bidding wars. They're notably a lot quieter. Lineups are rare, and multiple offer situations have largely dissipated in most segments outside of those sought after areas, neighborhoods, and listings. I had an open house this past weekend. We only had 4 couples coming through. So we noticed that even open houses are a little bit more quieter. So what happens is that fewer bidders means more flexibility. The buyers can now negotiate confidently rather than feeling pressured to waive all the conditions real quick and put an offer as soon as they see the property. So just a quick note for buyers, in today's Ottawa market, the buyers can and should ask for things like inspection, finance, insurance conditions, even when offers used to go firm overnight. It's not unusual to negotiate thousands off the asking, and I just did that myself a few months ago, saving them $14,000. As for sellers, you have to recognize that many buyers will include conditions in their offer, so be prepared to accept reasonable terms or leverage credit to keep the deal moving. When demand softens, deals often come together through some flexibility, sometimes a bit of a price adjustment or a concession or adjusting a few little things here and there just to make this deal happen. If you're strict, you're not budging on your price, it will most likely be a little bit more difficult for you to get a deal accepted. So let's talk about the leverage the buyers have right now. So right now, Ottawa is in a more balanced market than we've seen in many years. Buyers have something they haven't had for a long time, and this is called leverage. You can actually take your time to think about your purchase instead of rushing to make an offer the same night the home hits the market and you've seen it. You don't have to be rushing around like we used to. You can also write conditional offers again, financing conditions, home inspections, and sometimes even a sale of a home clause. In most cases, you can negotiate the price. This is a return to a healthier market dynamic where buyers can make smart, informed decisions instead of being forced to act on the spot. A couple of years ago, I worked with buyers who looked at 39 homes. We made 13 offers and we did 3 inspections before finally winning one. That was the reality in Ottawa during the frenzy. Today, it's different. Buyers have the power to move carefully, to make safe and thoughtful decisions without giving up conditions and massively overpaying. So markets move in cycles. As confidence returns, whether through lower interest rates or pent up demand, competition will heat up again. Negotiation windows will shrink, conditional offers will get pushed aside, and multiple offers could return. So the leverage the buyers enjoy today is temporary. It's not going to last forever. So what happens when buyers come back? Affordability in Ottawa is squeezed right now, with mortgage rates a little bit higher depending on terms and lenders. Many would-be buyers are sitting on the sidelines. They're waiting for the rates to drop before jumping in. The moment the rates come down, even a 0.5% to 1%, more buyers will flood back into the market, and Ottawa's market reacts pretty quickly. The demand will increase as sideline buyers are just re-entering the market. The competition will rise and the prices will follow upward. So what's the key takeaway in this situation right now? You can't go back and renegotiate the home you lost once the prices rise. That opportunity will be gone. Let's talk about the refinancing advantage. The part where a lot of buyers don't think of or they miss completely. You can't control interest rates, but you can control whether you own a home when they drop. Here's the key. If you buy now at today's rates, you can refinance later when rates come down. In the meantime, You're building equity instead of paying rent, and you're basically paying somebody else's mortgage. Let's say you lock in today at 5.5%. A year or two from now, if it falls to 4% or below, you'll refinance, your monthly payments drop, but between now and then, you've been paying into your mortgage, not your landlord's pocket. A quick word of caution on this subject. This doesn't mean you should stretch beyond your limits. Only buy if you can handle today's payment. Don't bank on refinancing as a rescue plan. Let's say your payment today is $3,000 a month and you're comfortable with it, great. If rates drops later, that payment falls down to, let's say, $2,600, that's even better. But if the $3,000 already feels impossible, waiting is still the smarter move. So why are we saying that this window won't last forever? Why buyers have the leverage today? Right now, homes are sitting longer on the market. Sellers are negotiating a little bit more, and there are fewer bidding wars, which means buyers can breathe. What happens when the market shifts? Homes will start to sell faster, the negotiation might disappear, and prices will likely go up again. Ottawa historically rebounds pretty quickly, thanks to stable employment in the federal government, tech sector, and universities. Housing supply remains limited. There are only so many homes to go around, especially in family-friendly neighborhoods. That means once the demand kicks back in, Ottawa will tighten pretty quickly. So how do you know if you're ready to buy right now? A few things you need to ask yourself. Number one is, do you have stable income and job security? Do you have a down payment saved up, 5% or 20%? Do you have an emergency fund for unexpected repairs and or costs? Are you comfortable with today's payments, not just potential lower payments after you refinance a few years down the road? Do you have a long-term plan to stay in the home? 5 years or more is the ideal timing. Don't buy just because the market gives you leverage. Buy because it makes sense for your life right now. The best move is one that balances today's affordability with your long-term stability. So let's get back to this question. So is now a good time to buy in Ottawa? If you're serious about buying, yes it is. This is the window you've been waiting for. You have leverage, you have less competition, and you also have the ability to negotiate with the sellers. But here's the key. Buy only if you're financially ready and comfortable with today's payments, because you can always refinance when rates drop, but you can't rewind and grab that perfect home once it's gone. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, feel free to share it, hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more straight talk on real estate. I will see you in the next video, but in the meantime, if you have any questions about, is this a good time for you to buy or is it better to wait? Make sure to give me a quick call, or you can always email me at jeanricher@jeanricher.com. Merci beaucoup et bonne journée.